Okay. Strike one. Okay, here he is. Okay, approach a little bit in the distance here, and oh gosh, okay. Strike two. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yes! 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 No! No! No!
We didn't get the bubble off in time. And now that the system is spiking up, I think it's time for us to just move on. Maybe we'll come back to this area a little bit later, or maybe next week. Who knows? Hello pilots, and welcome back to another Gromire Games Eve Echoes video. I'm very excited to get started on this one because today we are bot hunting. Now in Eve Echoes, the definition of a bot is going to be somebody who's running scripts to run code and basically pilot the ship on its own. This is different from AI because there's absolutely no control over the ship, but it has set up responses when you enter a system. And the main response that we're going to be trying to take advantage of is the fact that it's going to warp back to its citadel as soon as you enter that local list. So the two keys to catching them are going to be a log-off trap and adjusting our rigs on the ship of our choice. So let's break down the fit. I'm going to be using the Celestis Interdictor. This is to keep it on the cheaper end of the IP spectrum. I do have lasers in the top slots, but you can use cannons or railguns as well if you have better skills for that. So the main things that we're going to need are a scanner, a narrow scanner, the warp disruption bubble. You can get a MK7, MK9, doesn't really make a difference. And then just any other fittings that you want to put on here. If you want to use double webs like I have, or some extra DPS mods, that's fine too. Over in the combat side on the rigs, you see I just have some cheap laser burst aerator 2 rigs. This is just to keep it low IP. But the key to hunting down these fast warp away ships are going to be the hyperspatial velocity rigs. These are going to increase your warp time so that we can jump on them before they have a chance to warp away from our log-off trap. You can see that with 3 hyperspatial tier 3 rigs, I do have a 5.3 AU warp speed time. I don't really know the minimum to have on this, so I just wanted as much as possible. You can increase this with a better nano core or a tier 4 rigs as well, but I don't think it's really worth it. My main goal was to put something together that is basically a throwaway ship. It has very low IP. You'll see down there 52, but you can get it lower if you don't die all the time with laser rigs like I do. So just try to do as much DPS you can for the cheapest cost and make sure you fit those hyperspatial rigs for the warp time. Alright, so other than that, just keep it cheap and we will get started. We are going to set an actual destination for this video. Usually I just go randomly, but today we're going to a very specific area. Now, while I'm sure you can find this all over New Eden, I'm actually going to be heading to these 2 specific systems in SOS territory. So let's get started. On my way up from Jita, I do come across a nearest sitting here at the gate. Not sure if he's coming through or he's going to be warping away, but right when I go to put my bubble up, another ship comes through. It's going to be just a regular MOA. Looks like he's taken some damage to his shield already. Not sure what he was fighting, but we'll go ahead and engage him here. Looks like he can't warp off now because we got our bubble up. We'll put our heat sink on him. One of them was on cooldown. I'm going to burn towards him here with my micro warp drive because I want to get in range of this double webs. I don't want him to be able to get back through that gate, and that's why I have 2 webs on here to really slow his speed down. So my Celestis is not going to be as fast as my Fiend, but we will catch up to him right here and apply both webs, and at that point I don't think he's going to be able to get back to the gate. He's got to get within 5 kilometers, and it looks like he's sitting a little bit farther away. So we should be able to wear him down with our focus crystal at full charge and that heat sink going really well. We've got him held still, and we're going to be going through his armor here into hull. It should be a nice easy kill to start off our trip up north. And there we go. So not too bad for a regular Celestis Interdictor. Pretty cheap fit as well, so that we can just take out some hauling ships or somebody who happens to be just autopiloting through AFK. Alright, so we'll pick up his loot and we will open up that kill mail and see what we got. Didn't look like he was hauling anything special, and just 105 million on the kill mail there. So, but not too bad for a quick little kill on our way up north. Moving a little farther north, we are up in Tribute on our way to our destination, and I've got a ship here that's going to come through the gate. I warped 1 gate ahead of him, and I think I've been able to get in front so we can catch him when he comes through. You can tell when the gate activates because there'll be that blue streak that you just saw on the screen. That's how you know somebody's about to come through this gate. Now they do have a little bit of time before they need to decloak. So we'll just wait here at 0 and be ready with our micro warp drive on to jump on them as fast as possible. We want to get those double webs on them as quick as we can to prevent them from getting back to the gate. And hopefully it's not a massive ship that'll one-shot us, or we'll have to start our journey all over again. We'll give it a little bit longer. He definitely has to come out of cloak at some point. It's about a 30-second timer. So as soon as he comes out, we'll be ready. He'll appear on our overview up on top there. It's actually kind of a good sign that he hasn't popped up right away. That means he probably is autopiloting. Hopefully it's a hauling ship of some kind and we can score some good loot. See what comes through here. A few more seconds. There he is. Looks like a cruiser size or destroyer, a Can-U prototype. Okay, I have never fought one of those before. And he is yellow boxing us, so he is active. He just was really waiting for that timer to run out. But we got double webs on him, so we're probably going to hold him at range pretty good. And I don't think he's going to be able to get back to the gate, and he's going to drop really easy. One more shot. 2 more shots. A little less DPS than I'm used to. There we go. Okay, finished him off. Let's grab his loot, see if he had anything interesting, and then we will check out that kill mail as well. No, it looks like just some basic stuff. Might have been a newer player just using that free ship for an easy transport. All right, let's check out the kill mail, see how much this Can-U prototype was worth. A little bit more than the last kill, 135 million. Yeah, nothing really fancy. Equipped, he might have been just transporting stuff. He has 3 warp core stabilizers, which weren't going to help him at all getting through that bubble. All right, let's pack it up and keep heading north. Well, just as I was about to pass through the same gate, we got another name pop up in local here. So we're going to put our bubble on and see if we can get him to run into it. There's only one other gate in this system, so he's going to have to come into a straight line if he's autopiloting through. Not sure if he's coming from the NPC station or not, but either way, he's going to run into the bubble if he wants to pass through this way. So we'll wait and see if he runs into the bubble or if he's going to exit the system the opposite way. It's always good to check, especially when you have an empty local here. I didn't see the blue streak of light coming from this gate, so either we're too far zoomed out to see it, or he's going to be coming from the opposite gate. So I might just go ahead and start approaching in that direction. Maybe we can catch him at the edge of our bubble and get a little bit more advantage. If we can push away from the gate, we might be able to stop his warp if he hasn't warped out yet. He is taking a long time, so if he is warping from the other gate or the trade center, he's going to be in a large ship. So we'll start approaching that other gate in the system. See if we can push out a little bit away from this gate and get ourselves a little extra advantage on the speed. Normally I would give up and just assume that this guy is docked in the NPC station, but I did see him a couple systems from here when I was coming up in this direction. So I know he's traveling in some way. What I could do is turn off my bubble and check out the other gate. Maybe he stopped his autopilot over there, or we can just scan since I have a scanner equipped and we can see if he's in the system undocked. That would probably be the best way to find out. If he's not cloaked and he's in the system undocked, we should be able to locate him with my high scanning skills. So let's wait for the bubble to cool down a little bit here. When it gets a little closer, we'll turn it off. Start approaching back to the gate that we were already at because it doesn't look like he's going to be warping to this one. We'll turn off that bubble and just get ready to warp away if we need to. Let me activate the scan, see if he's out in the system. Let's see. Usually first scan will tell you if a ship is there. No, oh, he's right here. Oh, I must have bumped into him on my way back to the gate, but we will take that. This is a Badger too, so he's might be hauling something good. Let's grab him with both webs. He's not going real quick. He might not have a speed bond attached to it. It looked like he might have been just trying to cloak his way and approach the gate, but we ran into him. Either I ran into him or my drone orbit got within 2 kilometers of him. So real lucky grab here. Let's see if we can finish him off. We got double heat sinks activated. Yeah, he goes down real quick. Not too shabby. All right, let's check out the loot, see if we got anything interesting. We'll finish off the pod for the extra kill mark. Don't judge me. There we go. Okay, so we got some PI and a Vexor. I am not going to have enough space. I don't think I can hold that Vexor. What's great about this system being an NPC, though, is I can go ahead and fly over to the NPC, drop off the PI that I got in my inventory here, and come back and get the rest. We'll see if I can actually fit that Vexor into my ship. I'm pretty sure I can't. I've never actually killed a ship that was hauling other ships before, so I'm not quite sure how much a repackaged ship is going to take up in space. We do have that crime timer though, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to dock up. Yeah, we don't have permission right now, so let's just go ahead and unload in front of the NPC. The system is empty anyway. Let's go ahead and jettison this stuff out into space and go back and pick that stuff up before someone else comes through the gate. Now, we haven't gotten some great kill mails so far, but I have been having a lot more fun using this ship. It's such a low IP cost that I don't feel as stressed to take it out and undock it and lose it and try to pay that IP cost. So I'll probably fly more things like this just for fun, just for some more entertainment value, rather than trying to get giant kill mails and then sacrificing a bunch of my IP. All right, looks like we got this wreck all to ourselves. Let's open it up and see if we can just select the Vexor. Yeah, not enough space. Okay. Well, we can take the PI, which is not too bad because that's going to be easier to transport anyway. We'll have to get a little bit closer to this wreck in order to loot it. Got to be within 10 kilometers. There we go. Let's pick up this PI. And the ship that I killed earlier, the name is back in local here. Let's try and get back to the gate. Maybe he's bringing something else. Yep, there's the blue streak, so we know he's coming through this gate. I'm pretty far off from here, and I am also a little bit worried that he's going to bring something as revenge. Okay, no, just a pod. All right, that was a little scary. Well, if I'm not going to be able to loot this Vexor, we're just going to go ahead and take it out of the game permanently. There we go. Loot taken care of. We'll pick up that other loot outside of the station. It looks like we got about 22 million on us right now. So not a whole lot, but something extra for us for our efforts nonetheless. Okay, let's open up that kill mail, see what he was running with. Maybe he had something else interesting in the cargo hold. 702 million, not too bad. Pretty good for a hauling ship. Oh, he did have other stuff in the inventory, it just didn't drop. Would have liked to have that in Cursus Assault. There's a Mauler Guardian in there. Okay, so could have got some more ships to drop, but oh well, couldn't carry them anyway. Let's move on. All right, we have finally made it up here to Tenal in the system that was my destination, and we've got 2 orcas on the scanner. They are next to the corporation outpost though, so it looks like they've either already docked up or just haven't warped out to the belt yet. But we'll warp over there, see if maybe they're AFK or not. And then if they're docked up or not in the system, then we'll just log out and try and catch them in a little bit. I have very high sneaking suspicion that these are scripted players, that these are bots that are going out there and mining and just returning every time somebody hits the local. Because last time I tried to catch them, they would just warp away immediately. But then, you know, you log off for 10 minutes, you come back, they're back out. So that's kind of one of the indications that I'm seeing that these things might be bots. Let's go over here to one of the asteroid belts. I don't want to log off on the Citadel yet because I don't know where they're going to be. And maybe if we log out in this belt and we come back, we can catch them if they happen to go to this belt. If they're not there when we come back, we'll just use our scanner and try and track them down that way. All right, no ships here, so let's go ahead and log out. We're going to wait about 10 minutes. I find it's anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes that these things come back. And we'll come back right back here and see if we can catch them. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes, so let's log back in here. You'll notice when I land on this belt how fast my warp in time is because of that extra warp speed that I have from the rigs. I just land on this belt really quick to set up the bubble. So there's nobody at this asteroid belt, so we're going to go ahead and pop our scanner and see if we can catch them in a different belt. This will also give us a good indication of whether or not they're going to come back within 10 minutes or not. So let's scan. It looks like we did find a signal here. Yep, there's the 2 orcas. Let's go ahead and warp to the belt that they're at Not sure if it's a cluster group or belt. Doesn't really matter though. Yeah, asteroid belt. Oh, it's a ubiquitous moon asteroid belt. Okay. So they might be over here mining this big moon belt. And I know I'm probably not going to catch them because as soon as I log back in, my name pops in that local list and they're going to automatically warp back. Yep, they're already gone. It's really fast warp away times for those orcas, if I do say. But we know both of them were here recently, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to log out in this belt and then come back after about 10 minutes and see if they've undocked and come back to this big moon belt.
Warp drive active.
Okay, logging back in for the second time here. Let's see if we've caught anything. If any of them have undocked and come back to this asteroid belt location that we logged off at. Yep, there we go. There's an orca right there. And let's stop and put up our bubble.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this. What's up, Mitch?
Our log off trap has caught us an orca here, and we're gonna see if it locks back onto us as well. Most likely it's not gonna lock back onto us because I'm pretty sure it's a bot. And this is another good indication to tell if this is just a scripted player or not. If it's not gonna lock you back and try to get away, send out its drones, or even recall its drones at all, it's probably just a scripted bot. No player is going to be this AFK, especially when they're warping back to the Citadel as fast as they were about 10 minutes ago. Now, while I don't have the DPS that my Fiend has to output on this, it's likely that this Orca is not going to be fit very defensively. They're going to be fit with inertia stabilizers, warp stabilizers, things that is going to allow them to get away as soon as somebody enters the system. So it's not going to be as tanky as a typical Orca as well. So again, a couple of things I want to point out. You can't AI rat in a mining ship, at least not yet. So we know he's not AI ratting. We know he's not actively playing the game because he's not trying to recall his drones or get away or lock me back. So he's probably either AFK. We can assume he's either AFK or a bot at this point. Not a whole lot of guarantees that it's a bot, but the fact, like I said, the fact that they were just warping away as soon as they could when I entered local probably means it's not an AFK ship. It probably means I caught him before he was able to get away. And this trap works especially well on these mining ships who like to just warp to the anomaly and sit there on 0. And as a bonus, you don't have to worry about NPC rats disrupting you at all. So this is perfect way to log out trap something. If you see someone you suspect of botting or scripting, you can pull out this trick and try and grab them. You just definitely need those hyperspatial rigs in your engineering slots. Okay, we've got him down into hull. Orcas naturally have a pretty tanky hull, so this will take a little bit, but with I think we're rocking about 1,000 DPS on this little Celestis Interdictor, so it shouldn't go too long. And still, you'll notice he's still mining, still has the drones out, not recalling, nobody's coming for help. I do have both webs on him just because I don't want him to get bumped or for some reason be able to slowly move his way out of the bubble. So even though I'm approaching at 10, which is not my optimal, we got 2 webs on him, he's not going anywhere. Another thing I thought about doing is just stopping my damage output when he's really low in hull and just letting him mine the whole time to up the kill mail value, but probably not worth it with the other names up here in local. But I mean, the fact that we can do this in any interdiction ship for as little IP as we're doing, and they're losing so much more than we are by doing this, makes it so that I want to do it more and more. And this is much more satisfying than killing just a regular player who's AFK. Or an AI ratting battleship, for example. I'd much rather be doing this. Let's go ahead and zoom in and observe his ship just to get a nice little explosion shot. I don't really get an opportunity to get this very often. Very beautiful. I love it. Let's see if he had any good loot on him, if the drones were worth anything, if he dropped any mining drones. And we will check out that kill mail and see what we got. Okay, so he's got some moon ore in here, but this is going to be way too heavy for us to carry on our ship anyway. So we'll just scroll down here and we'll take up that drone and then we'll check out the kill mail. There it is, 3.3 billion, pretty good. You can see 2 inertia stabilizers and 4 warp core stabilizers on there. So he was definitely a runaway Orca. All right, that was great, but let's head next door because I got one more target I want to try and take down. So we're in the system next door to our botting orcas, and I think we found a botting APOC Navy. This is the same APOC Navy, the same name as I found last time I entered this system. I can't remember if it was a week or 2 weeks ago, but I'm pretty sure this is just going to be the standard warp away as soon as you enter local ship. But we can use that to our advantage and we can trap him as well. So let's warp to the anomaly and get a good warp off spot. You can see he's already gone. He's not here, which means he warped away as soon as we entered local. Not too uncommon for a normal player, so nothing super suspicious there. And lucky for us, the Corporation Outpost shows up on our overview. Sometimes it's not going to show up because it's too far away, but you can use your scanner to locate it if that's the case. But we're going to approach the middle of this anomaly just because we're going to get as straight a line as possible from the anomaly to the Citadel and make sure that we block his path the next time he heads out and returns. I don't know if this is 100% necessary, but since there's only 2 NPC rats here, we might as well go to the anomaly center. I don't think they can tackle us anyway. Okay, so we're about 0 kilometers here. Let's target that Corporation Outpost, and we're going to warp to it at 100 kilometers. We want to warp to it as far away from possible. Now, unfortunately, because there were some NPC rats there, it's going to give us a combat timer, so we can't log out straight away. But because this system is so low populated, and I know that they're not going to undock unless I leave local, we'll just wait for that combat timer to run out and then log out afterwards. Maybe in the future, I'll fit a cloaking device just so I can wait that out as well. Okay, combat timer has expired. Let's go ahead and log out. We're going to be about 100 kilometers from this Corporation Outpost when we log back in. Again, I'm going to wait about 10 to 12 minutes and see if he comes back in, undocks, heads to that same anomaly, and we can catch him back on the warp back to the Citadel.
Warp drive active.
Okay, waited about 10 minutes. I didn't want to wait too long just in case he did undock and clear that anomaly. We want to make sure he's going to be ratting that same anomaly. So as soon as we land here, we're going to throw up our bubble. Now I also have a scanner so I can scan down and see if he did undock or not. This gives us an idea if he's going to come back in that 10-minute time area. So let's scan down the first signal on top here. And no, okay, so he has not undocked yet. That means we came back a little bit too early. That's not the worst case. It's not the worst thing in the world, but we're going to have to turn off our bubble, wait out the combat timer again, and come back in maybe more like 12 or 13 minutes and see if we can catch him there. Okay, I gave it a few extra minutes this time. We've got our bubble up on login, and we're going to do our scanner and see if he has undocked this time. Very nice. Okay, so he has undocked. He was ratting, and he was in an anomaly. We'll see if it's the same anomaly that we are in line with, and if it is, on his warp back, we should catch him. Again, if this is a bot, he's going to automatically warp back as soon as we hit the local list and come right into our trap. And hopefully we got our bubble up in time with that extra warp speed. All right, there he is. Let's see if he hits our bubble. Let's see if we got it up in time. He looks like he's slowing down. Yeah, baby.
I'm a bad bitch. Come get some.
Our warp speed has paid off, and we have stopped this guy from docking up 100 kilometers, more than 100 kilometers away from the Citadel because of the size of our bubble. As soon as he lands here, we can lock him up and we can get started. Now, this is kind of a long fight because APOC Navy has a lot of health overall. Even though he's not fit defensively, I only have about 1,000 DPS, but he's not going to lock us back. He's not calling for help. He's 100% AFK, 100% a bot. And while I know this is going to be a long drawn out fight, and I could just fast forward until the end and show you the kill mail, or I could just let it play out and talk about how I'm approaching it instead of orbiting or trying to maintain my optimal, I thought, what could I possibly do that would make an AFK fight with a scripted bot outside of a Citadel more entertaining? So I did the only thing I could possibly do. I had ChatGPT write me a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes.
And they grind, puppets of code, no soul to find, chasing the thrill with no skill to show, but I'm the hunter. hunter, and they'll never know. I hear the echoes of their silent schemes, but I'm the storm that shatters their dreams. A click, a move, they pretend they're alive, but I'll hunt them down, no chance to survive. I'm the shadow in the game, the one who knows their name. Borders fall when I strike, no escape, no second try. In every echo they hear my call. The hunter's here and they will fall. In every system they creep and they crawl, but I see through it, I see it all. Scripts and hacks they hide behind, but I'm the player who'll take what they mine. I hear the echoes of their silent schemes, but I'm the storm that shatters their dreams. A click, a move, they pretend they're alive, but I'll hunt them down, no chance to survive. I'm the shadow in the game, the one who knows their name. Borders fall when I strike, no escape, no second try. In every echo they hear my call. The hunter's here and they will fall. Through every glitch and every hack, I'm the nightmare they can't fight back. I'll find them fast, I'll break their code. No bots alive on this road. I'm the shadow in the game, the one who knows their name. Knows borders fall when I strike, no escape, no second try. In every echo they hear my call. The hunter's here and they will fall. When the echoes fade and the bots are gone, you'll hear my engines echoing on. No place to hide, no place to flee. The hunter's watching and that hunter is me.
I have exorcised the demons.
That wasn't over the top, was it? Nah, who cares? Anyway, let's go ahead and loot up this APOC Navy and get that extra kill mark on the pod, of course, because we earned it. We'll take that Siege Tactical Module. That's some nice loot there. We'll go ahead and get to a safe spot so we can check out that kill mail and see what we ended up with. There we go, 9.6 billion ISK kill mail for using a 52 IP Celestis Interdictor. Not bad at all. Alright, that'll do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in my comment section down below. Give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed this content. If you enjoyed my country western song. If you didn't, sorry. And remember, there are plenty of bots in this galaxy for you to go and find, and as you can see, it doesn't take a whole lot of ISK investment or IP in order to catch them. So get out there, grab a bot, and let's start fighting back against this problem that has been plaguing this game since its inception. Until then, fly safe and have fun.